Tequila.
Is that Zeppelin?
That is actually Zeppelin in a very, very odd duet with Patsy Cline.
Oh, how's she doing?
Oh, you don't want to know. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz, and that is America's favorite amateur drinker, Fingers Malloy. And today it is a tequila because right now, as we're recording, it's the Jewish holiday of Passover, which means no wheat and no leavening or anything like that, which means there's a fair amount of bourbons that are right out for me. Right out. And the question was, can you do corn? And the answer is maybe. But I said, I'm not going to risk. Fingers said, don't worry, I got you covered. This is the LALO 100% agave azul, which would be the blue agave. Tequila Blanco, right here, coming in at 80 proof, 40% alcohol by volume, no applause from Fingers Malloy. I'll say this, I mean, it's just a basic white label on this, gold in the cap there with a blue and gold band. I like the shape of the bottle.
Yeah,
I like that. It feels good. Like it's very, very masculine look. My tequila expertise, Fingers Malloy, we're going to put somewhere around 0. We're going to put somewhere around 0. But you came across this because you were told that this is an excellent sipping tequila.
Yes. The clerk who happened to be at one of my favorite liquor stores said, hey, Fingers, I got to tell you, this would be a great sipping tequila if you were going to enjoy it with a fine cigar.
He told you it was a fine sipping tequila.
She did, yes.
Oh, she... Oh. Somebody's bragging. That's right. I speak to ladies, and they talk back to me. The amount of tequila we've done on this show is slight. I will admit, but we have had some good results. We've enjoyed some good stuff before in the añejos and the reposados. So when you tell me it's a blanco and it's good sipping, well, that's usually, I would say if there's a way that people look at it, that's not necessarily the way they look at it. They look at that as the more lower end of the tequila spectrum. They look at the other ones and say, okay, this is where some more richness is, some more care is taken, etc.
I freely admit, I know next to nothing about tequila. And for all I know, the clerk who told me that that's good sipping tequila, maybe she has no idea what she's talking about when it comes to tequila. All I can do is go by what I was told, Tony. And I think that's really the lesson that should be learned. Always believe everything people say to you.
It's a good lesson right there. Well done.
Thank you.
Well played. So when we talk about Blanco, silver, sometimes it's the same thing as Blanco. We're talking about something that is basically unaged, right? There's no time spent, cultivating and curating and trying to build up more of a flavor profile. So when we take a look at this, first things first, looks like water. So it'll pass in the office space. Feel free to use it right there in front of the boss.
Oh, wow. So you're saying that this is the old 15-minute pick-me-up?
The what?
The old 15-minute pick-me-up.
Uh-huh.
That's where you take a little bit of a flask, go into the bathroom for a quick pick-me-up.
I've never heard that before.
I just made it up.
I've also never done that before.
Oh, good for you. You like your job.
That's one of us.
Well.
It's a tequila nose. It's actually much smoother than I thought it was going to be. There's definitely a flowery going on there. It's a nice little piece.
It smells
it's sweeter. It's actually a little creamy. A touch, a slight, a little more than that. Certainly I was not expecting that. I was expecting more pungent. I was expecting a level of oh yeah, that's tequila. But this is...
It smells like tequila. What I'm not getting is any kind of note of alcohol.
Oh, you mean like an ethanol?
Yeah.
No, you're right. 0.
Okay.
That's not bad at all.
For the record, I'm doing this because it's Passover.
Well, no, I'm doing this because it's Passover. He's doing this because it's Passover for me.
That's why I'm doing it, because it's Passover, and Tony said I can do tequila. Otherwise, this is not usually my jam. And nothing against tequila drinkers. God bless you. Especially if you're a cigar smoker. A lot of people are like, hey, I only want tequila with my cigars. But we're gonna give this a go, Tony.
By the way, LALO states that they use traditional brick ovens that produce a slow, consistent cooking process and add no flavors to their tequila blanco. And they use 3 ingredients: fully mature Blue Weber agave. They use champagne yeast. Ooh.
And Caviar Dreams?
I'm wondering if the yeast is an issue for me. You know what? I'm going to leave it be. I'll let my rabbi yell at me later. And then deep well water. That's what they use. Some people only use mid-level well water. No, not LALO. The deep well water.
So during Passover, you're only supposed to drink shallow well water, I thought.
Correct. Yeah, no leavening. Can't have time to rise or any depth. Everything has to be flat.
You ready for this?
Yes, Fingers Malloy. I believe I've been ready for this all year.
There we go.
I stole your
Do you want to go first?
No, it's all you. Going in with the LALO, this is the Tequila Blanco right here, coming in at 80 proof, 40% alcohol by volume. We're doing it neat. He's doing what we would do with the bourbon, a Kentucky chew, moving it around the palate, getting an idea of the flavors. And I still believe in the 2 sips methodology. First sip to set the taste buds. The second sip to really get an idea of flavors.
That agave is there. It's also got a little bit of citrus on top of it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then it's creamy.
Harsh?
No, it's very smooth. Very enjoyable. It's almost like a melon to it.
Melon.
Yes.
Interesting. All right, I'm going
again, guys. I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to tequila.
That's exactly
I can only tell you what how it strikes me. I mean, agave to me, it has a distinct flavor, and I don't necessarily consider that citrusy. It's one of those things where it's like when you're having tequila and you said this is a agave. It's like you know it when you taste it,
right? But
that's what I got out of it. I'll be interested to see what you have to say about it, Tony.
Going in. The LALO, LALO tequila. This is the Blanco right here.
He's going in, ladies and gentlemen, and he's doing what we like to call the Saginaw Swish, Memphis Munch, Chattanooga Chomp. Well,
that is easy. I mean, there's no question. It's tequila. And you do feel a little heat center chest. Yeah, that is fruity. That is bright, fruity fruit punch.
Really?
I am there. So the melon thing, I think is interesting. I don't know if I call it that, but it's tropical.
Yeah.
Right. So that's not coconut. It's not mango. It's not orange. It's just kind of gives that feel.
Almost like a tropical fruit blend cocktail. You know how you get the fruit cup that has
But there is that feel. It's on the sides of the tongue, a little bit of punch right there. We'll get more into this from LALO. Is this in the liquor cabinet? Keep it here. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. So we often discuss the fact in doing this show right here that we discuss what's being discussed in the cigar lounge. And we try our best not to be political on the show, even though we both come from political backgrounds, but rather here's what's happening. Here's what people are talking about. It's like we're talking about the war in Iran. How do you not mention the war in Iran? Of course it's being talked about in a cigar lounge. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That's Fingers Malloy. Find everything at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. On the interwebs at eatdrinksmokeshow.com. Then the Twitter X, go Eat, Drink, Smoke. And Instagram, Eat, Drink, Smoke Podcast. Find us there. We're on Facebook too, even though Facebook is terrible. Eat, Drink, Smoke. And the YouTube channel, Eat, Drink, Smoke. And anything else, Eat, Drink, Smoke?
Don't forget our MySpace page.
Yeah, and on CompuServe. I think I covered everything. But one of the things being discussed is the firing of the Attorney General Pam Bondi. So this is kind of late-breaking news that took place. Allegedly, she got fired on a Wednesday night. The news didn't break till Thursday, which gives you an idea that this week we're recording a little bit later than we normally do. But whenever there is a firing, what happens in media circles is, first of all, why? And then, well, this means there's dysfunction in administration. Now, I am, Fingers Malloy, the exact opposite of this. When I see an administration that everybody stays on for forever, waits it out for forever, never questions anything, that to me is a signal of dysfunction. Now, a tremendous number of firings can mean dysfunction. Is there any part of you, I mean, put on the observer hat that you are, a guy who has written for the Washington Times and the things that you've done. Is any of this surprising?
No. I feel like, I don't know how deep you want to get into this.
You can get it. No. We can talk about all of it. We'll let other people decide their politics, but what you think connected to this, you could say the words. I think we're fine.
I think that the handling of the Epstein files is something that disappointed a lot of people, both on the left and on the right. That was a main campaign issue in the 2024 election, and the release of the files, you could say, was a bungling of that. And now my question is, with her firing, can the administration take a step back and almost do a reset on the whole thing? And then whether or not she was ordered to release it the way that she did, or much of it was under her control, either way, they can create a narrative that if it was under her control, she bungled it. But if she was ordered to release it the way that she did, they could also throw her under the bus and say, oh, she bungled it, and then have the new Attorney General come in and say, okay, this is everything. Because there's something, I believe still 3 million files.
I don't know the number. The new pick for Attorney General is Lee Zeldin. Lee Zeldin is the EPA administrator. Lee Zeldin ran for governor in New York. He's a congressman from New York. He's a very, very competent guy, and I believe that he will easily be confirmed to this position, considering the position he already holds. When it comes to the Epstein files, just for full disclosure on Fingers and I, from the beginning, from word one, release everything.
Yeah.
There was never a question. We've never actually discussed this, but I've heard you talk about this on some of your other shows, the Snark Factor, which you do for your radio show there out in Detroit. I've talked about this on my nationally syndicated show. There is no world where we accept the idea that children can be abused and sex trafficked, and we don't want people brought to justice. Don't care about your last name. Don't care about your political party. Don't care if I don't win the next election. People who abuse children need to go to jail. It is a basic concept. And absolutely, when Pam Bondi came in as the AG, she was the replacement for Trump's first pick, which was then former Congressman Matt Gaetz. And what I said at the time is Pam Bondi ran the shop in Florida. She's outrageously competent. I was thrilled. And then it all went to crap. And we're going to give influencers this first look at the Epstein files, and they're there waving these white binders. Look at all the information we have. There was no information in there. Release everything. And I think the administration handled things wrong. And I will also, I'll speak for you, Fingers, just for a moment. You chime in as you choose. There is not a single part of me, I'll let you talk for you. There's not a single part of me, based on any piece of information we've gotten, that proves that Donald Trump did anything wrong regarding the Epstein files. As a matter of fact, it shows that everything he did was, these people are sick and crazy, and calls to the Palm Beach authorities and others, you have to look into them. There is nothing that shows that Trump did anything wrong. I know that there are people politically who want to call him names and attack him and look what he did and look who he's protecting. Not releasing the files was a giant mistake. Making people say this isn't a big deal was a giant mistake and a misread of where his own base was.
Yes.
In a huge way, which he doesn't do. No matter what your thoughts on Trump, misreading his base is not really one of those things that he makes a mistake on. But I've called for the release. I'm on the record since day zero. And I think you are too.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, one of the things that I think has angered his base a lot is the fact that it wasn't just, we're not going to release everything, but it's actually a hoax. That's something that really angered a lot of people, portraying it that way. I'm a firm believer that if there was something really in there that would implicate Donald Trump as, a pedophile or whatever the narrative is, first of all, if that's true, he should be thrown in jail.
Right.
But secondly, I feel like that information would have been selectively released a long time ago.
That's my take. And I don't care if you're Bill Gates. If you were on the plane, if you were on the island, and if you did anything, jail. Don't care who you are. I think that your initial reaction to this is the one that makes the most sense. All things being political, and this is how we should look at it in its more general sense. The removal of Bondi, the installation of Lee Zeldin, allows the administration to say, clean slate, here's everything. It does allow them to pin it all on Bondi and make her a scapegoat. And there's a part of me that feels awful for her when this happens, because I think you're that correct. That's how it's going to go. Because if it doesn't go that way, well, then that's certifiable. That's a mistake on a mistake, and that is two massive self-inflicted wounds that make no sense. But I can't tell you how much of this is Bondi screwing it up and how much of this is Bondi getting a top-down level of order from not necessarily Trump, but a Susie Wiles, the chief of staff, or others.
We'll just have to wait for her book to come out.
I hate the people who write books.
But you know it's coming.
I hate the people who write books.
If they throw her under the bus and it wasn't her fault, listen, either way, the book is coming out. But if they throw her under the bus and she was only following orders, she's going to be a darling on legacy media, and also the book deal is going to be something else.
I was going to ask an improper question about Pam Bondi. I'm not going to do it. No. Do you think she saw it coming? Do you think she walked into the Oval and was shocked, as opposed to Kristi Noem, who had to know it was coming?
I have to believe, she's probably known for a month or so that this was on the verge of happening. Don't you?
I do. I don't think you're at this level and not know which end is up. Keep it here. It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. Eat, drink, smoke. It is your cigar, bourbon, foodie extravaganza. I'm Tony Katz. That's Fingers Malloy. EatDrinkSmokeShow.com. We are smoking from Alec Bradley. By the way, I got my cigar back up and running.
Yay.
Plugged up just once, and after that, we were easy. This is the Safe Keepings Nicaraguan Puro wrapper, binder, and filler. My cigar was wrapped very tight, and so it did create some issues with the draw. I did use my little poker here, which we do sell at Eat, Drink, Smoke. The shop be open soon, EatDrinkSmokeShow.com. And from the cap end, that's where you cut, poke some holes in it, right? Try and open some things up, get some better airflow, get a better draw. And it has been solid, mostly burning even. And yeah, solid and good. Comes in at about $13 a stick. We're doing the Toro 6x52. There is no flavor movement in the cigar.
No. Listen, for me, I haven't had any issue at all with the cigar.
Well,
solid construction, burning pretty evenly. I would want more in the flavor profile than what I'm getting. It hasn't changed at all, and that's fine. If a cigar stays consistent throughout the whole stick, that's not my problem. But for me, there hasn't been really a lot there. There's not really a lot of spice. There's no pepper. There's a little bit of cedar. It's clean.
And I think the cedar is what's bringing the spice, and it's very slight. There's a slow build up on the mid tongue, and that is it. Clean is the word I used, and I think that is the right word.
So I guess there's nothing wrong with that. And especially if you want something that you can pair with everything, it'll go with coffee, bourbon.
Yeah.
This is a cigar that will play well with all of those.
So at $13 a stick, I actually do think this would show up in some humidors. I would say yes. I would say yeah. $13. It's smoking nice and easy. Now, Fingers smokes fast.
Yeah.
And we talk about this a lot. This isn't smoking fast. This is smoking easy. Remember, we've got other breaks and we're still smoking in between that stuff. So I think there's a lot of good here. The fact that mine was wrapped tight it's a handmade product. Don't forget, Fingers has no issues. I think for $13, this is a cigar that when you're not looking to be overwhelmed in any way. You might like that. Like, good, that's what I want. I don't want the other things. If other things hit me wrong, this would just be nice so I can be participatory and enjoy without having to do too much work or thinking.
I also think it's good to have in your humidor if you have somebody coming over that says, hey, I would like to try a cigar. I'm not a cigar smoker.
Right.
This would be something you could hand them and say, this is something you could enjoy. And if you like it, but you maybe are looking for something with a little bit more in the way of spice or coffee or chocolate or whatever, you can go into something else. This would be a good base cigar for a newbie.
I had said earthy because there was a little bit of a cream sweetness kind of thing, just a slight. There's a little bit of spice buildup, as I said. I like that idea. Just for those of you who do smoke cigars to get an idea of what I mean by how monotone this is, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I have had Connecticut's that dance more than this. I've had Connecticut's that have more flavor, maneuvering, and punch than this here. So the fact that it's Nicaraguan throughout, the fact that it's I believe Habano plays easy.
Here's where I would give one word of warning about the cigar is if you are having issues maintaining it, if you're having a hard time keeping it lit, you really have to be careful with this, because we've talked previously on the show about if you get to the point where you get really impatient with your cigar and you keep lighting it and it overheats and you get that kind of ammonia flavor to it, I think it would be much easier to get a hint of ammonia out of this, because there's not a lot going on besides the faint flavor notes that we've talked about, to where that ammonia would be easier to pick up and maybe last a little bit longer for you on the palate.
So I'm a yes to the cigar. I am. The Alec Bradley safe keepings. Now, as for this tequila, the LALO here, this is the Blanco tequila, 40% alcohol by volume. I'm not enough of a tequila guy to know. And the more we do this show and the more we've tried things, I think I certainly am not somebody in the Blanco category. I want things that have some more time and expression from wood and things like that, and really kind of dig in a little bit. So I have no way to rank this. When I look at this and, is this in your liquor cabinet for what I believe is $45 a bottle?
Yeah.
Is this in your liquor cabinet for $45 a bottle? And the answer is, I wish I could tell you. It's not in mine. Because I think if I was going to go tequila hunting, I'd really need to spend a lot of time tequila hunting to find where I'd want to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad. If you're a tequila person, tell us, where should we be on this? Is this in a liquor cabinet for $45? I think presentation-wise, though, I think it's beautiful. I think it's really well done. I think it's a great bottle.
Yeah, and I will say that there's no harshness to it. It's very smooth. There's like a creaminess to it. That agave is there. I got a little hint of citrus and maybe some melon on the finish. But this is not something I would reach for at a liquor store. I appreciate the people who really enjoy tequila. I would be interested to hear their opinions on it. If you have enjoyed this in the past, let us know on social media, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace. Let us know. I'd be curious.
Let us move on, Fingers Malloy.
Okay.
We've made our choices. It's time for news of the week.
So, Tony, as of this week, United Airlines is rolling out a tracker in its mobile app that provides passengers with estimated TSA wait times for both security and TSA pre-check lanes, which, how has this not happened well before what has been going on with TSA? I don't know.
So the airline now tells you how long the lines are?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know.
But my question is, how has it taken this long to be able to give you that?
Let me go back at you. What does this do for me?
What does it do for you?
What does it do for me?
Well, when you are flying, say, out of Chicago, and you're hearing that it could be a 5-hour delay at TSA. It would be nice to be able to open up an app and say, oh, goody, it's only 3.5 hours.
Yeah, again, I'm going to ask the question. It helps me with my planning? Is that what it does?
Listen, maybe you enjoy sitting several hours in an airport security line. For some of us, in our Zubaz pants and tank tops, it's very uncomfortable being in line that long. So it's nice to hear that they are starting to get with 2026 technology and saying, we can actually track this.
But I don't know what I do with it. It determines when I get to the airport. Is it somehow supposed to make me feel better? Like United actually cares about me?
Well, no, you get to the airport.
Clean the puke out of the seat. Then I'll know you care about me.
You've really...
No, United's always been fine to me.
I was going to say,
I'm fine.
You see sawdust on the seat there. And
turns out I walk into a plane and the whole thing is Roadhouse and Patrick Swayze's come back to life. And then there's Ben Gazzara. And he's up to no good.
And then Peter Griffin.
Wow. Frank Stallone, Peter Griffin.
I combined
How embarrassed are you?
Frank Drebin with Peter Griffin, and I got Frank Griffin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Frank Drebin is the Naked Gun movies. It's Leslie Nielsen.
Police Squad in color. So, but you show up at the airport based on how long you think security is going to take.
So let's say I was going to take a flight on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I would show up to the airport 4 months early. I figure that's how long it's going to take me. I just don't know what I win. What are they doing for me? You want to do something for me? Don't charge me for the extra bag.
And give you a slice of Sparrow.
Oh, you know what? Nope, no peanuts, just pizza. Hand out slices of pizza.
Well, Sparrow.
Maybe a Stromboli. That would help United Airlines. Eat, drink, smoke. Fingers Malloy got a cast iron skillet, and he is confused. Who wants to help him?
Anyone?
It's Eat, Drink, Smoke. I'm Tony Katz. That is Fingers Malloy. And after, being an adult for a long time, Fingers Malloy finally broke down and went to the local TJ Maxx and found a cast iron skillet.
Yes.
Are you sneaking more snacks?
Yeah. I was just going to tell you the reason why is because I'm on the carnivore diet.
So you decided you'd have some chocolate-covered snacks right there because you're on the carnivore diet, which is why you got the cast iron skillet. The problem with Fingers is that never mind this. Well, there are many problems with Fingers. I don't have the time. The issue that he's having, for those of you who are cast iron skillet people, is that he's new to the cast iron world. So he's concerned that if he's let's say he's going to make a steak, he's going to make a sirloin, he's going to make a sirloin steak in the cast iron, he wants to make sure he has enough oil so he gets a good sear, but he's worried about things sticking, so he's adding too much oil. And so he has a concern that he's using too much, and where's the proper medium? And I think that your problem is that you fear things sticking. That's weird.
Why would that be weird?
Why would you fear?
It's a new pan that, you buy it, it's pre-seasoned, but yet you still have to go through the seasoning process. You know, it comes from the factory. You've got to wash it properly to get the factory filth off of it. And then add some oil for the first time, season it. But then because you're worried about, it's still brand new from what I've been told, the first few cooks, you could really screw up the surface of it because it's, you're just starting to build up the seasoning to the pan, so it could end up being uneven.
Do you need a drink? Are you okay?
I'm a little.
You had the snacks.
Yeah, I shouldn't have had the snacks. I was dedicated to the bit. So I have been really concerned about making sure that it's seasoned properly, and I didn't want. I've cooked a couple of sirloins in it so far, and I think I'm adding way too much oil because I've been so concerned about the steak sticking that, man, I've pressed down on that steak in the cast iron pan, and the sear has not been good. to where I think I'm putting way too much oil in it. So when you cook a steak in your cast iron skillet,
Yeah.
how much oil do you put in, and what kind of oil do you use?
So I most often, because it's there, is olive oil.
Yeah.
And then I just it's by eye. What's a basic coating? I can always add more if I need more, but I don't care. The sticking doesn't bother me because afterwards, after I'm done with the steak, and you were discussing this, immediately onions are going in. And I'm going to basically do my own level of deglaze, and those little bits are going to come up in the I don't even add salt and pepper to when I do onions now, because everything that I've got from the steak, everything that's in there, that's going to flavor it, and it's been tremendous. Perfect in that way.
So what I've been doing the first couple of times is I'll make the sirloin steak, and I get the internal temperature about 130.
Okay.
I'll pull it off, let it rest for at least 5 minutes.
130. Okay.
Yeah. Well, sirloin, you don't want to get crazy. You figure it'll bump to 135 maybe as it's resting. Mm-hmm. What do you cook it longer?
I don't use the thermometer. I do it by touch.
Oh, well, aren't you something?
I'm a little fancy.
Yeah. I use a thermometer because I don't want to screw it up.
Okay.
So
which is fine.
But then what I like to do in the same pan is immediately start frying some eggs.
Oh, that's right. You love this.
Yeah, the whole steak and eggs thing. Because that when you're doing any kind of carnivore keto, you could do a salad. But man, there's something about the egg yolk in that egg, or the egg yolk in that steak, that just does it for me.
Right.
And so the last couple of times I put the eggs in, and there's so much oil, it's almost like I'm boiling a fried egg.
Yeah, that's too much oil.
Yeah.
I think you're just making the bottom of the pan glimmer. If you're asking me how much oil, because I can add some oil as I go along, but if you're talking about where I start, how much you're making the bottom of the pan glimmer, and then when you put the steak on, is there an immediate sizzle? If there's not an immediate sizzle, that pan is not hot enough.
Well,
and that's going to create all sorts of issues.
So from what I've seen, you want it on medium heat because the cast iron will heat up a lot hotter than you would expect it
because
to.
It's conducting, right?
Yeah, right. So I have it on medium heat. I don't even mess with it for a good 5 minutes. And I've got a gas stove, so it's instant heat. And then I'll take a couple of drops of water, hit it. Once you see it, popping up in the air like that, like it just don't care. Then that's when I throw the oil in, and then I throw the steak on. So, but it's obvious at this point from our conversation that I'm putting way too much oil in.
I think so. I absolutely, because you can add to it later. But I would start there. What creates a sheen at the bottom of the cast iron?
Then so when you are, say you got a ribeye in the pan, do you throw butter in there and then do the whole spooning the butter on top of the steak as you're cooking?
1,000% can. I don't. I have to be making it just for myself to do that. If it's for the family, there's definitely no butter that's going to be connected to it. You can. I think you can do good work at night, and then if you've got herbs in there,
yeah, I was going to say throw rosemary and stuff in there.
I'm not that guy, although I did last night. I was at a friend's place, and they smoked an 8-pound rib roast, and they cross-hatched it, just salt on the crust, and then added thyme and rosemary, and it came out smoked brilliant, just absolutely brilliant, spectacular. So you can do that methodology.
So how much do you use that pan? Like, do you make cornbread in it? Do you make pizza?
Everything in the world. Cornbread gets made in that pan. Chocolate chip cookies get made in that pan.
Oh.
Chicken, crispy chicken thighs get made in that pan. And then after they've crisped over the heat into the oven to bake off. Absolutely. Everything with that pan.
I'm amazed at how passionate people are about cast iron and how controversial cast iron pans can be, as far as, stay away from this brand because it has kind of a rough texture on the surface, where people are smoothing out the surface because there's texture on it. It's amazing how passionate people get over frying pans.
It's not a frying pan. It's everything. And what I put into my cast iron is steaks from Defiance Beef. DefianceBeef.com. You order right now. Not only will you get free shipping when you use promo code EatDrinkSmoke, you will also get a free mini share, which it's basically, if you're buying a quarter cow, half cow, or full cow, you get this free mini share. It's this extra crazy amount of beef, absolutely free with your order and free shipping. 21-day age from the Indiana farm directly to your table. Full cow on its way. Paid for on its way, Fingers Malloy.
How do they ship that?
How do they ship it? Carefully. Everything is vacuum packed. Everything's been cut to your specifications. Age 21 days. Everything is packed. You decide how many you want in the pack. 2, 3, 4. How many pounds of ground beef in each pack. And it comes to you. It is going to be amazing. The 21-day aging makes a difference. The flavor from Defiance Beef is like nothing you've had before. Beef you can trust for your family. Defiance, DEFIANCE, DefianceBeef.com. You use promo code EatDrinkSmoke. Not only are you going to get free shipping, you are also going to get a free mini share. Check them out, DefianceBeef.com. Jacob and the entire family are going to treat you so right. DefianceBeef.com. Enter promo code EatDrinkSmoke to get your deal on a quarter, half, or full of beef. I cannot wait. Could be showing up any day now. Any day. I have chest freezers to buy. We'll get into that. This right here, the tequila is the LALO, LALO. Let us know if you're a tequila drinker, if this Blanco is for you. And from Alec Bradley, smoking the Safe Keepings, $13. I could see it in the humidor. It's a very simple smoke. Isn't going to change much flavor, but it's going to be a very clean, easy smoke that works with everything. Find everything at EatDrinkSmokeShow.com. This is Eat Drink Smoke.
Follow Eat Drink Smoke on social media, on Twitter @GoEatDrinkSmoke, on Facebook, facebook.com/EatDrinkSmoke, and Instagram @EatDrinkSmokePodcast.